given the rise in commodity prices post the Ukraine war, we at CNBC TV 18 polled a bunch of economists for the changes in inflation and other forecasts that they've made, and these are the results. The inflation forecast for the coming year, that is starting on April 1st, FY23, was 4.8 to 5.2 before Feb 24th, when the war started. After that, more recently, when we polled them, the range has become 5.3 to 5.8. That is for the year starting on April 1st. Now, in this, 30% of those polled are expecting the CPI to be a high of 5.8. Now, this is pretty close to the ceiling of 6%, beyond which the MPC won't let inflation go. However, 30% of those polled see the average CPI at 5.6, so a little lower, and another 30% see it much lower actually, from 5.3 to 5.5%. On the GDP front, the range used to be 7.6 to 8.2 before the war. That's fairly good. Remember, Reserve Bank itself stands at 7.8% GDP forecast for FY23, but post the war start, the forecast has been lowered to a range of 7.2 to 7.6, so some good 40 basis points cut. Likewise, the current account deficit for next year was estimated at 1.7 to 2.5% of the GDP pre-war. Post-war, obviously because of expensive crude and fertilizer imports and coal imports, the current account deficit has been pushed up. The estimates have been pushed up to 2.4 to 3%. This is important because 40% of those whom we polled said that they expect the current account deficit to touch 3%. And of course, 30% see only 2.6 to 2.7, and a good 30% also see it to at 2.4 to 2.5. But we must remember that this 3% is important because the Reserve Bank always wants the current account deficit to remain below 2.5%. So 3 would be quite an aberration. Of the economists we polled, what was their assumption of crude? 55% have assumed a crude price of $100 or over. 45% have assumed that the crude price will be a little lower than $100, mostly at $95 per barrel. Hardly anybody have changed their rate hike expectations. So, of the people we polled, 45% expect 2 rate hikes. So, the repo rate goes to 4.5. It's at 4 now. 55% expect 3 rate hikes. So, there is no change in the number pre-war and post-war, but people are differing on when the first hike will come. Many of them have pushed forward the rate hike expectations. Now, let's come to the 10-year bond yield, which is where it really hurts everyone. A good 55% are expecting the 10-year bond yield to touch 7.5% by the year end and even stay there, but 30% are expecting only 7.25 as the high, and a minor 15% are expecting it to be just above 7%, but that clearly is a minority. Yields will go up. The only outlier case will be if inflation stayed above 6%, but that's not anyone's base case. If it stays above 6%, then the Reserve Bank will be forced to push up rates fast.